At this company, my name is Nicolás Gongora and my partner Cesar Rojas, and we will expose about the Plan Vallejo.
What is the Vallejo Plan for goods? The Vallejo Plan is the regime that allows natural or legal persons who are producers, exporters, or marketers or non-profit entities to temporarily import into Colombia customs territory with total or partial exception for customers, duties, taxes, inputs, raw materials, intermediaries, goods of capital goods, and spare parts that are used production of export goods or that intended for the provision of services directly linked to the production or export of these goods.
What is Plan Vallejo? Mechanism that allows temporary import into the Colombian customs territory, raw materials, auxiliary materials and inputs, capital goods and spare parts. Used in the production of export goods or the provision of service intended exclusively for export with for a partial exception from customs duties and VAT.
Objectives of the Vallejo Plan: increase Colombian exports, contribute to the renewal and acquisition of technology, facilitate the innovation processes of production line, promote economic and social development, promote productive activity and therefore employment, reduce production costs, promotes improvement and product quality, allows non-refundable imports, exports, also entity certain tax refund certificates, bank collects line of credit can be used and combined with the other export promotion mechanisms except free zones.
Who can access the Plan Vallejo? Program of raw materials and inputs, capital goods and spare parts can be accessed by natural and legal persons, business associations, trades, producers and or exports, non-profit entities. Capital goods programs for the export of service, legal persons only including temporary unions and consortia.
Types of programs Vallejo Plan: raw materials and supplies, capital assets and spare parts, capital goods for exporting service.
Material and inputs. Article 172 on Decree Law 444 or 1967 weights and weights shall be used exclusively and in its entirety in the production of goods destined for export of or of goods which, without being destined directly to the external markets, they will be used in full by direct or third person in the production of export goods. Benefit raw materials and inputs. Total exception from the tariff and VAT.
Capital assets and spare parts, import of machinery and equipment destined for the installation, expansion, or replacement of the productive units, as long as the increase in production are mainly destined for export. Raw materials or intermediate goods that will be used the production or assembly of capital goods or spare parts that are used in the production of export goods or that are destined to the provision of services directly related to the production of export may also be imported to these goods.
Benefits capital goods and spare parts. 1. No tariff payment. 2. Different VAT payable on the depreciated value of the equipment. 3. Availability of a quota of up to 30% of the amount biennial capital for the import of spare parts for such goods.
Capital goods for exporting services. Article 4 of Law 7 of 1991 establishes that export which authorizes the exception of return or import duties on raw materials, supplies, service, machinery, equipment, spare parts, and technology for the production of goods, technology, and service that are exported, and in any case to simulate a national add value to the goods that are imported to increase exports. Capital benefits for exporting services. Only capital goods and their spare parts included in the items a subheading benefit for the mechanisms established in this article. In order to be used and previously authorized services export project.
Type of operation of the Plan Vallejo. Within the operation of Plan Vallejo, who has completed with the regulation in force may be authorized with the management branch of custom register, production or export operation through their parties, under the contractual responsibility of the authorized user, importer, and the control of the custom authority. Direct operations. The same importer produces and exports, and indirect operation the same importer does not necessarily produce or export.
How to access the Vallejo Plan Capital Goods Program? Request, elaboration and presentation of the respective forms before MINSIT. Study of the request by MINSIT from 1 to 4 months. Industrial visit. Authorization of the program through resolution. Import of capital goods. Nationalization and release of assets. Production of goods for export begins. Export in a compliance with a special system programs. Presentation of the commitment starting 6 months after the end of the program. 19 months for accounting depreciation. This depends of the time for each program.
And for repositions of Plan Vallejo goods. Article 179. 1. Import via ordinary channels, payment of taxes. 2. Nationalization of lifting or wide of goods. 3. Initiate the production of goods for export. 4. Export via ordinary channels of manufactured goods could in that Article 179. 1. presentation and maturation of the replenishment study. 2. Official approval for use replenishment 10 months. And 3. Import of raw materials without tax payment.